Welcome back to Lost Legacies. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Another day, another episode of Lost. We're gonna see what happens this episode. We've been having some technical difficulties, and we may or may not lose Sam at some point. So we'll see.
I'm a going.
So we're just gonna jump in and see what happens. So today we are talking about Season 3, Episode 18, DOC. When Sun finds out what happens to pregnant women on the island, she demands answers from Juliet. Meanwhile, MacLeod, surprisingly back from the dead, arrives just in time to save the parachutist's life. All right, Sam, what you think?
Well, hella surprised that MacLeod is back, because he's supposed to be dead. He got pushed through the sonic fence thing.
Yeah, blood and stuff coming out of all his holes.
Yeah. And nope, he's alive.
Yeah.
So that crafty son of a.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm glad though, because he's one of my favorite others. Out of all the others, like he's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
so.
he has like the best character. We know nothing about him, but like I don't know.
It's just
fun.
It's the presence. He's got the look. He doesn't. I think a lot of the problems that the others have are they're so secretive, but they tell you how secretive they are, or they just like act like we're so secretive, It's like, you want answers, don't you? And then it's like, I don't know, they're just weird. Yeah, but like, yeah,
he gets to a certain point where it's just boring.
Yeah,
they're so mysterious and so secretive that we know literally nothing, and that just gets boring after one episode. And they've been doing it for, I guess, 2 seasons now. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so he's a breath of fresh air on the show for sure.
Indeed. But yeah, him showing up was great. Really glad we got to have yet another Sun episode, and it's a good one this time. Not that the last one was bad. The last one was the glass ballerina, right?
I think so. Yeah, season 2. Right?
No, season 3.
Oh yeah, it was earlier this season.
It was like the second episode. Season. Yeah. I know we've been doing this a while. Really glad this was a return to form for a Sun episode. Yeah, I do like how I noticed this kind of early, like every time a Sun, or mostly every time like a Sun flashback would end, it would end on something with Jin, and then it would cut to Jin. And I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe not so much like towards the end, once she's with Juliet in the other hatch, but yeah, definitely like for like the first like 30 minutes of it, anytime Sun has a flashback, it usually ends on Jin and it cuts back to Jin. So yeah, that was kind of cool.
You gotta remind me, what was the glass ballerina one? Like what happened in her flashbacks? That's the one where it's revealed she's having the affair, right?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
The guy kills himself. He jumps off the roof.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that was it.
That's really interesting because we had mentioned, especially back then and earlier this season, how so many of these flashback episodes, it's like they're no longer core to like the character's story. Well, not so much. It's not core to their story, but like season 1 and 2, you could see how a lot of the flashbacks related to what they were doing on the island. This season's a little different. It's more like, okay, this isn't really pushing forward the island narrative or their character narrative on the island, but it is like an interesting piece of their history. That happened with Saeed, that happened to Claire. That's what I felt about Sun this episode. We didn't need this whole, blackmail storyline thing, but it put it into a interest, especially because the whole plot on the island is there. Her and Juliet are trying to find out what's going to happen since she's pregnant. So they're trying to find out the date of conception for her child. Is it going to be Jin's? That means it was on the island. If it was
Mhm.
before, it means it's the other guy. So I kind of felt like that would have made sense for her flashbacks to be about the other guy.
Mhm.
I don't know. This time it was just like her flashbacks really didn't have anything to do with what was going on the island.
Yeah.
However, it does recontextualize a lot of their relationship.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
problems they were having with her father and with
Mhm.
Jin's job, it basically all came down to a mistake that Sun made.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. And that's like that's kind of my thing. I kind of want to jump to that last moment of the flashback, because it's essentially like she's met Jin's mom who's blackmailing her,
mhm,
for all this money, and like it feels like a power move that she like gives her the money and then tells her like you did this to my family and my family is powerful,
mhm,
something like that, and then like you know be grateful I don't tell my husband about this, and the mom kind of shudders for a second and then son walks away, but it kind of doesn't feel as triumphant because she still gave her the money.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it feels like she should have like I don't know, maybe just like hand her the envelope or something, and as she's taking it, hold on to it, and then tell her everything about how this is a powerful family,
Mhm,
and how dare you try and do this to us
mhm.
and bring shame, like I don't know, like for me, like that's kind of like, oh, okay, like it feels like the writers were trying to do like a girl boss moment, but
Yeah,
it's really not.
it was really the opposite, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I was hoping that like she gave her the envelope and she's like it's empty and she opens it and there's like information on her on the mother. It says
Mm-hmm.
like I know who you are and I know how to find you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last time you will step foot in this city,
Mm-hmm.
or we will come for you, something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't. What sucks
I
is like the stakes. Like Sun really had no choice because the only way she could have reasonably threatened this woman or followed through with any kind of follow through, she would have had to tell her dad,
Yeah.
and that would have ruined everything between her and Jin.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she tells Jin, that would ruin everything between her and Jin. It's total like masculine insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just and it's a cultural thing. That's not really part of our culture. That how important your family, not legacy, but I don't know, origin. Like, what's your family origins? That still plays a role in us as Americans, but not the way it's portrayed in this show in South Korea. Now I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's how it is in all South Korea, or it's just specific parts, or it's because they're a super rich family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if this is us, they would have been revealed in flashbacks in several episodes, and they would have figured it out. Not with a nice pretty bow, but a more realistic way. But in this, it's just like no, she walks off with this like I'm the boss kind of moment, but really this is the moment that screws up her marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like what she was saying on the island. Either way, I lose. That's kind of what the situation was before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's acting like it's a victory, but she's really losing because she's giving all that money to this lady, and now her husband owes her father.
Yeah.
But if she hadn't, Jin would have been shamed, and Jin probably would have been the one to throw himself off the roof.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's crazy. Either way, she loses.
Yeah.
Uh, this is what the technical term for this is a pickle, and Sun is in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Ah, man. Ay, ay, ay. People.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People. Speaking of people, people kind of suck. You know why people suck? Because most of the time there's a miscommunication. Because people don't talk to each other. You know who doesn't talk to anybody? Literally everybody on the island.
Yeah.
Because this whole episode starts, well, not whole episode, but the whole main core part of the episode with Sun starts because she's just talking with Kate. And she's like, do you think Jack's okay? Like, he was with the others. Do you think they know what they're doing? And then Kate just decides right then and there to drop the bomb that is, oh, yeah, they were doing experiments on pregnant women. How long did you know that, Kate? And how long did you just decide to sit on that pretty little nugget of information?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the theme for this episode is like the no-win scenario because
Mm-hmm.
Jack should have been the one. He's the doctor. He should have been the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
But Kate's no longer because she was involved with the whole Claire storyline and figuring that stuff out with Russo when they found the medical place hatch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for one, yeah, everyone needs to talk more. I'm trying to think of it from like Jack's perspective. He's like, well, what's he going to tell Son?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he really has no answers. There's nothing he can really do about it other than they try and protect her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think she deserves, you know, it's her right to know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. And then
Mm-hmm.
Juliet really doesn't have many answers. And I mean, she has more than she's given for sure. But it just seems like she gives just enough.
Yeah.
You know, basically, women on this island die if they're pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
if they get pregnant on the island. And I really like that little talk she has with Son. She's like, I just, you know, referring to the world before, you know, she's like, I used to give women the news that they're having the baby, and it was one of the happiest moments of their lives. She's like, that's what I want to go back to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, and it was. I think it was a good episode. It was a good moves on Juliet's part. You know, she was earning some trust with Son, which I think will go a long way. But then, of course, by the time we see the end, not so much.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I,
Which I
I,
knew I knew that was coming. I knew there had to be a moment this episode where like
mhm,
we get the slight heel turn from Juliet, but
mhm.
uh
But I mean, at least it's revealed that she doesn't want to be doing it. She leaves the info for Ben, and then she's like, "I hate you."
mm-hmm.
Like, oh, but she drops the bomb that she's trying to get what DNA samples from all the women on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh man,
Uh yep. I'm just
I can't think of any good reason why. Why, you know?
I just want to know. Want to know what is it about Ben, you know? I want to know what is it about Ben that makes people like disloyal to him,
Yeah, that's what
you
I'm curious
know?
too. Like, because we've definitely seen that he's a terrifying guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has power, he has sway and influence on this island. I want to know where the loyalty comes from.
Yeah, because it's like right now, from what we've seen, and this is, this season's probably the most that we've seen Ben, in his environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. And you
I
want to know why that
really
is,
don't
Sam?
get it. Why?
Because the
Why?
others are all written very secretively and very mysterious,
I know, I know.
and that gets boring.
It gets boring. It's so boring. Like I can potentially understand this like week to week. Also, like what they took like a so many month-long break before jumping back into the tail end of this season, but like I don't care. Still,
It's
we've been going at this with the others since season freaking 1, and I'm over it, man.
Mhm.
I'm
It's crazy
over it.
because I think, well, one, that's a lot of the reason why people stop watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
So you're experiencing what everyone remembers about
Oy.
Lost.
Mm-hmm.
So now when people say like, oh, it lost its way or they couldn't pull things off, I think this is what they're actually referring to.
Mm.
Also, I mean, because being week to week, like, man, it was almost like they had us, not that they had us trained, but like kind of like every little bit of info or clues they would hand us out for the week. Oh, we would like just devour it, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're still loyal masters, we'll get a like a little puppy. Just we want the pets and the belly rubs.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week, a little more. Okay, we're back. I'm back for another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think it's better to watch it, in a. I think it works very well in a binging format,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what we're doing.
That's not what we're
That's
doing.
not what we're doing.
Ay, ay.
Oh man, maybe the show wasn't meant for a podcast.
Why do you insist on doing this to me, Matthew? Why do you torture me so?
Hey, it was a group of two decision to do this podcast, Sam.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Speaking of which, I think last week, we hit episode 75.
That's right. We did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're a quarter of a podcast way through. No,
What?
3/4 of the way through. I
To
don't know.
100, yeah.
Don't talk to me.
We'll
I'm
do
tired.
episode 100 sometime next year. I don't know what we're gonna do though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We should go to Disneyland. We'll go record.
What does that have to do with Lost?
Nothing. It was on ABC.
Which is Disney is the
Disney,
parent company
yeah.
to yeah.
That's all I got.
I don't know. I want to be like those podcasts where like they get like people, onto their show, like the King Cast, sure, like they were getting a bunch of, they get a bunch of celebrities on there to talk about Stephen King, but then they got Stephen King. And
Yeah.
he never does that stuff, but they got Stephen King. What's his name? Christopher McQuarrie. Yeah, the director for the latest Mission Impossible movies.
Mhm.
He's going on a podcast along with Tom Cruise to talk about the Mission Impossible movies. It's like those guys are busy. Tom Cruise doing a podcast?
Mhm.
I want somebody from Moss to get in on this,
I know.
Damon Lindelof. Whatever
I don't
you're
know, man.
doing. Stop what you're doing. Come hang out with us.
Well, first, like the reason that happens is because one, it's either like an official kind of sponsored thing,
Oh well, yeah.
or it's just some bunch of people just started doing something and a lot of people started listening.
Yeah.
When you figure out how to get a lot of people listening to Lost Legacies, you let me know, Sam.
I mean, hey, we kind of already figured it out. We just got to keep naming them after Selena Gomez.
Gomez songs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What's this one gonna be? What does this episode relate to in terms of Selena Gomez music?
It's been a while since I listened to Selena Gomez's music, man. I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
You're failing the audience, man.
I'm feeling her as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you're failing me as a podcast host.
I will say this. Or I think I'm about halfway through season 2 of Only Murders in the Building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it. Nice. So
nice.
Yeah. But back to Lost. I don't know, man. What about, we didn't see a lot of people this week.
No.
We haven't seen Locke or Ben in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been several weeks.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen Saeed in a while either.
Yeah, I know. He's on vacation, man. Yeah, okay, but what about the parachutists? They saved her life, so that's good. With the help of Mikhail, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They did. And like Charlie's got some good points, but
He does have some really good points. He's just a dick about it.
yeah,
It's like, oh man.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, and yeah, like Desmond's right. Like they technically the survivors have killed more of the others than the others have killed them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
I don't know. It's speaking of being in a pickle and no win scenarios, it's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a quandary, man, because
Yeah.
this woman needs to survive, but they need the help of this other to do it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's
And
like, yeah.
and when Desmond brings that up, Charlie even says, "Well, they started it," and Desmond just kind of gives him like this smirk, like, how childish.
Mm-hmm.
That's your morals. They started it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I just want to know why are the others so mean. You know,
Yeah.
like they've mentioned before that the survivors, they're not the good ones or something like that. That kind
Mm-hmm.
of determines who they kidnap and whatnot. Because I'm like, you would think, why don't you just integrate them into the community, put them to work? But no, it's going to start this whole thing because the others are seemingly up to bad stuff. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But the parachutist, the Portuguese woman, she wakes up this episode at the end and starts talking to Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
What's that bombshell, Sam?
That bombshell is that the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815 are dead. That they found the plane and
Mm-hmm.
there were no survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, what an interesting new wrinkle in this mystery.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
I I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, so before we do MVPs, what's your theories, especially after that reveal?
Well, for one, that's got to be a cover up. That's got to be a cover up,
Interesting.
like one like massive proportions, but I Dharma is probably in on this. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
is left of Dharma, like this is,
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Also, so we know that this person who's in the helicopter, she has a photo of Desmond and Penny, which means that she was looking for the island. I feel like this means that there are going to be other parties that are also going to be looking for the island.
Mm.
You know,
Very interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Because I don't know, because it sounds like from everything that we've sort of pieced together, Dharma is gone from the island because there's really nobody left.
Yeah. Mikhail, we don't know if it's true or not, but Mikhail said that like he was the last of Dharma
Mm-hmm.
before the what do you call them? The natives took over,
Mm-hmm.
which is he's referring to the others.
The others, yeah.
So we don't know how true or not that is because we can
Mm-hmm.
never really tell with
We don't
him
know yeah.
we don't know what's true and what's not. Like, and that's one of the things that is good about the others. They don't they mix the truth with lies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to decipher the two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Kel is all about that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. I'm
yes.
guessing we'll be getting some new faces in either before the season ends or by
Mhm.
next season. And I think how they'll do it is by um having, these other interested parties, eventually finding their way to the island.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And like, so since the Portuguese woman was looking for Desmond, yeah, I mean, that means nobody has any idea about 815.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why she was there. So, oh God, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This
Mm-hmm.
is nuts. This is wild. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. Well, what else? Are we missing anything else from this episode? I feel like, I mean, it wasn't that much. It was a great episode, but we kind of discussed everything already. Like I said, we didn't
Yeah.
see a lot of people, so there wasn't a lot of little side things to talk about.
Yeah.
Hmm. MVPs?
Uh yeah, I'll say Young Jun Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think kind of it feels oh what's the word? It feels kind of ironic to say, this because I think we've not given MVPs for this reason, where it's like we don't really see her doing anything new
Mm-hmm.
in this episode. But I think one, maybe I'm just biased and it's like, hey, anything with Young Jin Kim is like it's good. She's one of the A-listers of the show, and I feel like she keeps getting sidelined
Mm-hmm.
in favor of the origin stories of Jack's tattoos. Um, yeah, I think I just think she's a really talented actor, and anytime we get to see more of Sun and Jin's story unfolding, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's always good. Yeah, even the Glass Ballerina episode, like it adds a context, and now we kind of have the context. This is the start of all of their problems, this misunderstanding, this miscommunication, this not wanting to have anybody feel shame.
Yeah.
And it's this thing that just, cascades into different things that ends up hurting the two people who just wanted to be in love, who
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wanted to love each other. And like that sucks. And yeah, just seeing all that, seeing her perform through all that, like it's great. Like she's standing up to her father, she's taking a stand, against that. She's consoling her husband and being there for her husband, and that she's just doing this to protect him. That's how much she loves him. And then on the island, she's trying to do this, like, yeah, for Jin, but also for herself, you know and that's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like her last shot where she just kind of is like standing in the tall grass and just kind of nodding, like she's happy. She's happy that she's having this baby. She's happy that it's Jin's. And then that that worry just takes over her face, and she just and then just kind of starts walking away, and
She
you're
knows
like,
she's gonna die. Yeah. So
she
that's
has
the thing.
2
Like,
months.
we didn't really explain that, but
Oh.
yeah. So essentially, like she said, either way she loses. So if they find out the date of conception on the baby, if she got pregnant off the island, it means it's not Jin's baby.
Mhm.
If she got pregnant on the island, it's Jin's baby, but she's probably gonna die.
Mhm.
And sure enough, that's what it was. It's Jin's baby. They got pregnant on the island. And like
Mhm.
she just looks so elated and like she's laughing and crying and she's just so happy that it's Jin's the father.
Mhm.
But yeah, she has 2 months and you see that on her at the end of the episode. It's like, oh my God,
Yep.
not son.
Mhm. Damn it,
now,
writers.
now, the first 3 seasons up to this point, they said they've been on the island around 90 days.
Mhm.
So 2 months, another 60 days, that could be maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Who knows?
Who knows? And
yeah,
there's 6 seasons in this dang series.
man. Yeah.
Ugh,
And don't forget, we're already in the back half.
I know.
Uh,
I
well,
know.
my MVP is going to John Shin, who played Mr. Kwan,
Oh,
Jin's father.
yeah.
It was so good. I'm so glad we got to see him come back because
Me
he
too.
came back in a Jin episode, but it was really quick. So this was cool to actually see him and they're having a conversation. That scene between him and Sun is just so heartbreaking, because the shame Jin, feels about coming, not even about his mom. He doesn't know about his mom. It's just that his father is a fisherman, and that's what's keeping him away from his family. It's like, oh, and the father gets it. He's like, yeah, don't tell him. Like, oh my God, dude. Why can't people just be nice? Why can't they just hug it out? Yeah.
Why can't we just live? Why can't we just live our lives?
Yeah. Speaking of hugging it out, last time we saw John Locke, he was introduced to his father in a prison cell. It's been like 4 or 5 episodes already.
I know.
Which gets us to next week's episode, Season 3, Episode 19, The Brig. Locke is given a unique opportunity, but first, he may need to recruit some help. Meanwhile, the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815 continue to question Jack's loyalty.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was kind of hinted at this week, by Sun questioning like what happened to Jack, what's he been up to, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see that goes. But I mean, in all fairness, yeah, because we don't know who the others are. We know what they're capable of. We know who Ethan was, and you can't tell me like, oh, Ethan went rogue to do his own thing. I don't care. He's one of the others. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, who knows? We've yet to see. Maybe we'll find out more next week with 4 episodes left, I think, of the season.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, man. We're coming in. We're closing in on the end of the season.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Because the last 2 episodes were 1. The season finale was a one big long episode. So 4 episodes.
Dang.
Oh, we had our first dad shout out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Buddy Dan. He asked he told us, he asked us to bring Pops back. Like, man, he's ready. He is ready to come back.
He was ready to go for the next episode when Matt and I were talking about Lost.
I know.
I don't, we should just
He's
get him
just
on
waiting
anyway.
for the call. Oh, and I told him, Sam, that you were having internet issues, and he said, well, you could use my podcast studio for a fee. So keep that in mind.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. As always, guys, we love you. We love your support. Shoot us any questions at #Lost Legacies. You can find me on Twitter at _Matt Jimenez and on Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Real, that's REEL, Texas Weirdo.
Till next time, get lost.